Good morning, Engineering College. Actually, it could be afternoon. I'm not sure when you're watching this, but hi, Engineering College. This is Mr. Martis with what I believe is the fourth in a series of videos on spreadsheets. Today, we're going to be actually looking at data. One of the reasons me and Mr. Claney got together and talked about having this series was to um, improve your reports and improve your statistical analysis for YLPs. Statistical analysis sounds fancy, but it's just a way of presenting your numbers. Quite a few of you are going to be doing YLPs that makes you do trials. And in these trials, you'll be quantifying it, putting numbers, associating numbers with the things you do. All right. And we just wanted to make sure that you all could present these better and be able to articulate when you're actually presenting what these numbers mean. All right. I've thought the best way to do this is me just to present something like I was presenting a YLP. I've got some numbers here. You see 2 rows of numbers. All right. They're on row 2 and row 3. They're just 2 different techniques of a machine. Let's say that I'm filling air in tires. Okay. I've made a machine that will put the air into tires. All right. And in this machine that I've made has 2 different settings. All right. And I want to check the first setting and the second setting. So I ran 2 different sets of numbers. We're going to call trial 1 and trial 2. Row 2 will be trial 1. Row 3 will be trial 2. Just to make that a little bit clearer, I'm going to right click on row A. I'm going to insert a column, and I'm going to call this T1. And this T2. All right. Now I'm going to do some analysis on these numbers. 20 numbers, fill in air in tires. When you do that, most of the time you want to shoot for 32 pounds of air in a tire. So you can take a glance real quick and just kind of see how it's done. Most of the results are in the 20s or in the 30s. We got a few that's out. All right. We could just let the person watching our YLP just do his own analysis. Here's the numbers I got, but that's not real professional, and I don't know. It's just not a good idea, especially for your YLP while you're trying to show that you're an expert at something. All right, so this is mainly going to be formulas. So here's my 20 runs. I'm going to go in T1. The first thing I want to show everybody is something you're familiar with. You've did all your life is an average. All right. I want to do an average of these 20 different tire pressure readings. So I'm going to hit equal. I'm going to hit A. And as soon as I hit the A, equals A, you can see these things start to pop up. I'm going to go down here, and there is average. I'm just going to go down and click on it. All right. It already had inside. I'm going to click again here. Look up here. It already had inside there. I want to do the average from B2, which is this one, all the way to T2, which is this one. All right. Let's look at the formula again. Average, and then left parentheses, B2, colon, U2, not T2. It goes to U2. All right. So there's the average, 31.9. Pretty good, huh? I was shooting for 32 and I got a 31.9. Okay. All right. Let's do the second one. And if you remember, I don't have to type that on again. All I have to do is get my little X down here, my little crosshairs, and pull it down. Boom. There's your average for trial 2. So if this is the only statistic that we give, all right, it looks like the first one's better. T1 is better than T2. Let's put this up here that this is average. I'm just going to put AVG. right? That's our averages for the trials. All right, I'm going to introduce a few new stats. They're going to be new to some of you. I know that a lot of you've had this in as early as grade school, middle school. Let's do something called median. All right, the median is if we lined all 20 of these up in a row from, let's see, what's the lowest here? 22. 22 looks like it would be the first one. Then we start, no, 21. 21, then 22, 23. If we put all of these in order all the way up to the last one, which would be 44, all right, the median is going to be the one that falls in the middle. There's 20 of these, okay? So it would be the one, it would be like the one dead set in the middle. Like in this case, it's going to be the 10th or the 11th one. All right. What it does is it takes the average of the two in the middle if it's two. If there's two of them, say you got an even number of items. All right. We've got 20 here. It's going to take the average of the 10th and the 11th one. All you got to know about the median is in the middle. If you got an odd number, it's easy to do. If there was 19 of these, it would be the 10th item. No matter what the 10th item was, it's the 10th item. That's all median means is middle. So let's do this one. We go equals. And this one, let's see. Let's type M. And I don't see it there. Let's go E. So here it is, median. And it gives us the left parentheses. So what it wants us to do is highlight the data range. I am left clicking all the way to here. And then I just need to cap it off. Look how it is right now. It doesn't have a right parentheses. I cap it off, hit enter, and there's my median. If I put these all in a row, the median is 32. So perfect. I mean, the one in the middle is just dead perfect because that's my target for all these tires. All right. So let's again, all right, since this is a row and the row right below it, I don't need to type all that in again. All I do is drag it down. And there's my median, 31. So if I put these in order, it looks like these are tighter. So these will go from 29 to 34. I'll put them in order. My median is 31. So I've got average, I've got median, which is just the number that's in the middle. I'm going to add another statistic to this. I'm going to call this one mode. Mode is which number happened the most often. All right. Which number of these 20, what number in this list of 20 items showed up the most times? So I'm going to hit equals M. Oh, it's down here at the bottom. I just go down and I hit mode. Again, it just gives me a left parentheses. I'm going to highlight all this. All right. And then I'm going to hit, I'm going to put a parentheses on there, but I'm pretty sure even in this, I could just, I'm going to just hit enter. Yep, it worked. It added the parenthesis for me. So look at that mode. Boom, right in the center. So this first one, it sounds like from the stats I've used so far, average, median, mode, that this first trial is awesome. All right, again, I want to pull this down to do trial 2. And you can see the mode on this, 30 happened the most times. So if we counted these, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's four 30s in this. That means there's more 30s than any other number. So that's our mode. All right, we've got one final statistic I want to put on here, and this one is really important. I think this is the one that I haven't seen a whole lot of at your all's YLPs. I've been judging your all's YLPs since I think 2013, 2012, 2013. So I've been doing that a long time. I don't see standard deviation a lot on your data, and it's actually important. What standard deviation tells you is how much your numbers bounce around. What's the variability? A high standard deviation isn't good. That means it's bouncing around a lot. It can go up, it can go really low above your target, or go really high. It just means a high standard deviation means there's a lot of variability and the number can be all over the place. A lower one means it's tight and everything is real consistent. So I'm going to just type in STD DEV. Okay, I'm going to type in equals, and then I'm going to type in just ST, and you can see usually after a couple letters, whatever you're wanting to do pops up. Standard deviation, left parenthesis. So I'm just going to highlight from B all the way to U. And I just hit enter, and there's the standard deviation. Okay, so our numbers are supposed to be around 32. The standard deviation is 7.98, which is basically 8. All right, let's fix this right now. I'm going to highlight this column. I don't like all these numbers. That's 4 numbers past the digit. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to decrease decimals. So I'm making this tighter. See what it's doing? Okay, my standard deviation is 8.0. Okay, it was 7.99, but now this, when I get rid of the decimals, it just rounds up. That means that I'm shooting for 32. That's my average is 32, but it could be, for the most part, it could be 8 over that, which means 40-ish. It could be 8 under that. This 8.0 just means it's really bouncing around a lot. Okay, because I'm shooting for 32, but the standard deviation is 8. That's really high. Okay, I'm going to drag this down. The second one, look at this. The standard deviation is 1.9. That's really tight. That means all of my data is super consistent. My data is tight. Look, 28, 20, 31, 30, 29, 34. It's really tight. Okay, think about this in terms of tires. If I am shooting for 32 and I put 40 in a tire, or I put 22 in a tire, my tire's going to pop. These trial 2, it's not perfect. It's not where I wanted it. It's fallen a little low. The average is 31, but it's super consistent data. I know it's consistent because my standard deviation is 1.9 as opposed to 8.0. And you always got to stop and think about the average. This 1.9, so my average is 31-ish. So that means it could fall around 33. It could go down to 29, but I know that I'm going to have consistent data. All right. So if I was wanting to point out something to my audience at my YLP, I would say, yeah, this one here, the trial 1, great average, but man, too much variability. It's bouncing around too much. Tires could pop. People could have accidents. Trial 2 was more successful. Wasn't perfect. 31 is a little bit lower than I would like, but the data is real consistent. All right. So today we did 3 things. We did the average, which you did since you were probably 3, not 3, but 3rd grade. Median, which is the number that falls in the middle if you put them all in order. You did the mode. All is mode most. That's what I think. It's what number showed up the most. Mode most. Then standard deviation, variability. How repeatable was your data? Okay, from trial 1, our data wasn't very repeatable. Trial 2, our data was really repeatable. All right, you're all going to turn in the deliverable to Mr. Claney. So if I was going to turn this in, I'm going to clean this up real quick. Watch how fast I do this. All this is stuff you've seen before. I'm going to go up here and put a box around everything. All right. I'm going to number my trials. Let's see. 1, 2, and I'm going to drag these to the end. Okay, there's my trial. I'll put that. Okay, let's see. Let's highlight. I'm going to bold this, bold my headings. Okay, and this looks good enough to turn in. All right, you all can play with the shading and stuff if you wanted to make it look better. I hope you always go a little extra on this stuff. But there's my numbers. The thing I would like, and I think Mr. Clean, you'd be okay with me going ahead and telling you all this. You all need to find some data. Go somewhere on the internet, do something. Um, I don't know. If you're a baseball fan, you could put put the home runs in here. If you all, I don't know, you could put car sales in here. You could put movie grosses. There's all kinds of data. Find data on the internet. It'd be better if you don't make this up. Find some data on the internet. And you don't have to do two. I did two here just to show you the difference of standard deviation. Find 20, actually, more than 20 is better. But for this, find 20 pieces of data. Okay? Right? Then do the median. Whoops. This is supposed to be average. Do the average on that 20 pieces of data. Do the median on that 20 pieces of data. Do the mode on that 20 pieces of data, and do the standard deviation on that 20 pieces of data. All right. The deliverable to Mr. Claney will be that data. Find something that means something to you. I mean, take a few minutes, find some real, just don't throw down 20 numbers. Okay. 20 or more. Like I said, more would be better. When it comes to statistical analysis, if you got any questions, you can come find me, or you can go find Mr. Boswell, who, like I said in the previous video, is like Mr. Boswell's very smart, much smarter than me. He can help you with any statistical analysis that you need. All right. All right, guys, you have a good week. I will have video 5 for you all next week. I think we should be able to start into graphing. Graphing's kind of cool because it's nice and pretty, and it's stuff you can definitely put into your all's YLPs. All right, have a good week.